Are you looking for a step-by-step guide to hire your virtual assistant? Well, today in this video, I'm going to take you through the exact process we've used to hire over 600 virtual assistants. Stay tuned. My name is Thomas Parkinson. I am a 2-time 7-figure Amazon seller, and I also run another company called Fast Track FBA. And at our peak last year, we had over 88 staff across 3 companies, all working virtually within my business. Now, today I'm going to be going through number 1, how to write a job description, a job posting, and actually where to hire from. Number 2, I'm going to be talking about the reviewing the application process. Number 3, I'm going to be going through how to assign a sample project to really get the best candidates. Number 4, I'm going to be talking about actually the interviews and some top tips that are going to really help you out. Number 5, I'm going to go through how to set up the employment, and we've got a sample contract that you can use to make it so much easier for yourself. Then I'm going to talk about training and communication, and then also managing time and productivity, and also as well going into regular performance reviews and sharing with you some tips that are going to help you there. Let's get started. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about creating a job post and actually getting a job advert up. Now, the one thing which I'm going to say is down below, I'm going to drop a link to a free job description and contract that I've created that you can get for free, which you use for our own VAs that we've hired. So this is going to give you a really good template. Now, the next thing you want to do is post that job description onto somewhere that you can actually do candidates. We usually hire pretty much everyone from the Philippines. It's a really popular place to hire for because of generally lower costs of employment. You can pretty much hire people for about $3 an hour there. Also as well, they have a really high level of English. They're really used to working virtually. So it's really easy to do. Now, the place that you're going to really want to hire from is a place called onlinejobs.ph. Onlinejobs.ph is a really easy website to get onto, and I'll jump onto the computer now and show you that. So here is onlinejobs.ph, and we really like it. Why? Because it is really simple, and you can literally, it's where a lot of Filipinos go to work remotely, but also as well, a lot of, should we say, foreign companies will come to hire people, and especially more in the freelance area. Now, what you're going to have to do is really get the pro account. You can create the free one, but you can't actually communicate with the workers. So it's a little bit pointless. So you're going to have to pay for the pro account, which is about $69. And then obviously you can actually communicate with the people hiring. Now you can post up to 3 job posts and obviously get applications for that as well, which is going to really help you out in just getting the right kind of candidates. I'd recommend signing up for 1 month, and I'll drop a link down below, and that's just going to allow you to put the job post up. And then once you've got the candidates, you can take it down, and also you only have to pay for 1 month. Now, when you post a job posting for us, we generally post always full-time working. We're always looking for full-time workers. I really don't want someone working for me and for someone else. We're probably going to be posting around 20 to 25,000. I'd always be looking at the salary for the job that you're after, but 25,000 is about a good salary in the Philippines, and that's going to be something that you can certainly start with. That's probably about $450 per month, and we do about an ID proof of 50. So we're looking for people who've actually had to prove who they are, which is good. And then generally we're going to go through the job description. So here's one that we've used. So we're going to talk about the role, and again, like the formatting isn't great on this, so you've got to be mindful, like capital letters, using, should we say, indentation just to make it easier. So we talk a little bit about the role, we talk about the requirements that we're looking for, competencies, we talk about the computer specs that we're after, and I'd really recommend like an i5 and 8 gig RAM. Those are 2 really big things for, like, should we say, working virtually. And then also we talk about the offer, so what we're actually going to be offering, and then finally how to apply. So we drop a link in there for us, or what you can do. So really simple, and we put it under the office and admin jobs generally, but it's really up to you for what your role doing. Now, what I'd really recommend for you to do is really make sure that your title is really compelling. Why? Because there's a lot of jobs being posted on here, and you want to just make sure that your job stands out. So use a little capital letters, maybe some extra stuff in the brackets. That's so important. So you can see here with free 7-day training, that's so helpful. Now, again, really in the detailed job description, make sure you're posting the title, what the wage is, skills that you need, and any additional information like software or computer, for example. And again, don't forget to get that downloadable job description down below. Now, once you've posted the job advert, you are going to get applications come in. And you can see here, we've got quite a lot. We've got over like 6,397 messages come in. And admittedly, we do a lot of recruiting. But one thing for you to really think about is you are going to get a lot of applications coming in. Now, one of my top tips for you is in the job post, just make sure you ask them to do something like maybe start your application off with the word banana, for example. Because it's going to be so easy to see the people who've actually read the application or read the job description rather than those who haven't. You can just filter through that as well. Then what I'd really recommend doing is just taking the time to review each applicant thoroughly. Look for the applicants who should maybe answered questions properly, see how they've demonstrated if they really are genuinely interested in the job. That's so important, and how they align with the skill set that you're looking for your job. Now, Now, the third step is going to be, should we say, assigning them a sample task. Ideally, the task should take no more than 30 minutes to complete. We're not looking for free labor, but what we are doing is to assess their skill set. So you really want something that you can assign maybe to 10 people, a small project that's going to be relevant to what you're after. For example, me and Amazon sourcing, I might ask them to say, hey, here are 5 deals, please record me a video of how you might analyze these. Or here are 5 suppliers and please go and find me the relevant products on Amazon. I just really want to see how they perform against it. I want to get a feel for who they are and the standards that they're demonstrating. Now, the one thing I just really reiterate, do make sure that the project is manageable in terms of time and complexity. It can't be too hard, we can't have specialist software. It's got to be something that they can do. Also as well, is the fact that I always say that if you are successful, we will pay you for that time and that effort. So that's a really important point. Now, the fourth step I'm going to talk about is conducting interviews. Now, this is a really, really important step because it's about the first chance you get to talk to them. Now, within my interviews, I'm going to, should we say, narrow down those applications. I'm going to do the sample test and I'm going to choose a few interviews or people to come in to interview. I'm going to schedule these interviews probably for like a 30-minute, 1-hour call, and it's going to be a video call. And I'll probably use Skype because Skype allows me to record the call so I can watch it back quite easily. I like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the call off and I'm just going to say, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to record the call and I want to just make sure they're happy with that. Then once I've started recording the call, I'm going to say, just tell me about yourself. And I'm really interested to see where the conversation goes to them. I'm going to spend about half the time at least asking questions around them. Now, my interviewing strategy is very much, I'm interested in how they explain who they are, what they've talked about themselves. And then I'm going to go through their CV. I'm really interested to learn about what their previous jobs were, why did they work that job, why did they leave that job? And I'm trying to get a really good picture of where their career is gone, where their career is also going, and how this job will fit into that career. Now, it might be the case that they were a banker and they're going to come work for me doing Amazon and they've got a family now and they want to work from home. I can understand that. But what I'm really looking for, VAs who are going to be, their expectations or desires and what they need from a job is going to align with what I'm offering. Not someone who generally just wants a job. I want someone who's like, this is the right job for them. That's going to be so important. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to be assessing things like their communication skills, what they're looking for aligns with my business. And in addition to that, I will be asking them their salaries. I'm going to be asking what was their salary in their last 2 jobs. And I want to do that because I want to make sure that the money that I'm paying them is going to be aligned with what they're going to be getting for myself. Otherwise, I know they're just going to leave because we're probably not going to be paying them enough. Now, once I've done this, I'm going to choose one of the people to make an offer to. And this is about my next step called setting up the employment. Now, the important part of this is about getting the contracts in place with the right candidate. This is really important. Why? Because it sets the groundwork about what's acceptable and what's not. In the contract that I shared with you in that downloadable content, that's going to be so helpful for you to understand and set the ground rules. So working hours, employment, how often you get paid, how much you get paid, what you expect them to do, communication methodology, like holiday entitlement. This just sets the rules. And this is by what all the contracts are signed by. And I cannot stress this enough. I've seen it too many times within virtual employment. People don't do contracts. You should do it. Might not be legally enforceable. It does set good boundaries and does set good ground rules for employment with yourself and a VA. Now, also as well, I'd really recommend thinking about other tools such as maybe communication tools like Skype, Slack. We use Google Chat, for example, but also even if you're having to share things like passwords, like LastPass can be very helpful. Maybe Loom if you're doing a lot of video recording. Within my business, we actually buy everyone noise cancelling headphones and a camera as well, because we just want to make sure they have really good quality communication equipment so that we can work really well within our company. In addition to this, again, I reiterate working hours, payment expectations regarding outputs and targets, and I put that all in writing because that's so important to ensure that it's very clear from day one what your expectations are. Now, I just want to take a quick moment out to say, look, hiring a VA is going to be an amazing part of your business, can really accelerate you. But actually, the hiring process can be really daunting and quite challenging. And not only that, it's the fact that it can all go wrong if the VA leaves, or perhaps maybe you've hired the wrong person if you don't have experience in it. Now, within Fast Track FBA, we've hired over 600 virtual assistants for over 300 of our clients, and we basically support them from day one right through to getting that VA up to where they need to be with our 3-month aftercare program. Now, the Fast Track FBA VA Academy, which offers you fully trained VAs that we support, not only with our 3-month aftercare support, but also as well, you have a 3-month unlimited replacement policy, whereby if you're not happy with your VA, you can get them replaced at literally a moment's notice. We not only do that, we actually support our clients with managing their business and setting them up with the right metrics to ensure that their business goes from strength to strength. Now, if you are interested in understanding more, do have a look at the link down below where you can actually see more about the Fast Track FBA VA Academy. Now, the sixth step that I'm going to talk to you about is training and communication. Now, I can't stress this enough. Hiring the VA is great, and once they're on board, that's amazing, but really making sure they get the training required and communication they need is so important. Within my own business, we do what's known as the 90-day plan. So we've basically planned out everything that they need to do for the next 12 weeks. This is going to be training guides, videos, recordings, everything that they need to know to get them up to skill and up to standard to add value to your business. And this is going to be key for your VA to understand their role and their responsibilities within your business and to help support you in growing that. Now, what I'd really recommend is regularly communicate with them any issues you have and feedback to them about successes. We do this at least once a week, every single week, even after the 12-week period. And what this does is encourage open communication, and it creates a really positive working relationship. Now, the seventh step I'm going to talk about is managing time. You might want to consider things like productivity tools such as Hubstaff, time tracking software, or timesheets. Now, the one thing I should say is it's really up to you. For us, we use it within our business. Some businesses don't for privacy concerns, but I don't feel a problem because if you have those tools whereby they can turn it on and off and they can see their own screenshots, then there's not a real privacy concern there. So again, it's really up to you if you want to do them, and those tools can really help you. What I'd really recommend is, regardless of time tracking, really focus on delivering outputs, measurables. That's what we're focusing on. We're not really interested in micromanaging their time. We just want to make sure they're delivering results, and by being able to see time, we can also see maybe if they're working too much. So that's one of the positive sides of it. Now, the eighth step I'm going to talk to you is about regular performance reviews. Within my company, we do regular performance reviews every single quarter, and we actually update this once a month and then sit down on a 1-hour meeting once a quarter. This is key to basically see how they're performing on their progress towards adding value to the company and giving them feedback and developing them in a long-term way. If you are just getting started with the VA, those first 3 months, I'd be having it at least weekly, if not monthly, and you should have a final sign-off one at the end of the 3 months to say, well done, you finished your probation. But after that, then you'd fall into a quarterly review process, which is going to help you just give feedback and improvements to them. Now, what I'm going to say is I'd really recommend recognizing their achievements, but also as well giving them feedback, constructive criticism, because this is going to level up their skills and ensure they're aligned with your business. Hiring a virtual assistant can massively transform your business and also your life as business owners. It can allow you to focus on core activities, and by following the steps I've just outlined, you can find a really qualified VA who's going to contribute to your business growth, but not only that, help develop them within your business. But do remember, do set clear expectations, communicate in a timely manner, and be a very positive, supportive working environment. Best of luck with hiring a VA on your journey.